YouTube, what's good? Welcome to another episode of New York Prison Talks. If you're new to my channel, I ask that you please like and subscribe. I know it's been a little while since I made some videos, some topics. I've been off top. Mine been handling different things, been going through different things. Have an upcoming birthday this Tuesday, March 16th. So hopefully everything be okay with that. Have a good one. But yeah, I'm back on the topics. I wanted to talk about why I would never turn blood or join a gang, period. But mainly blood. It's like when you want to join a gang, turn blood, you trying to turn blood, it's like you blood in, blood out. You trying to turn blood in prison, them niggas take that shit to the extreme. Like, on some real shit, they take that gangbanging stuff to the max. They take it to the heart. Once you blood it in, like, you family with blood. Yeah, it's, a lot of problems, bullshit be going on, dudes be beefing all the time. But you just not just oafing in and thinking you just could opt out of being blood and it's all good. You join that gang, it's for life, baby. It's not no joke. They not playing with that shit. Cause dudes will try to cut you, try to hurt you, do something to you, or make you try to cut somebody or shoot somebody or do something in order for you to blood out. You opt out of blood. You no longer want to gangbang. Same way if you trying to join blood. You got to put in some type of work. Nowadays, they be blessing dudes. They just be joining dudes just because he probably somebody that get the bag and he got drugs. They just be turned blood. Now he all of a sudden, he the big homie and shit. He just turned blood. He got his status up all because he get drugs. He get the bag in prison. It be like that. One thing about having drugs in the jail, if you that man that always get the bag, you really gonna be him. You gonna be that man. You gonna be that nigga. You calling the shots. Cause drugs be running everything in jail. You come in with no property. You come in with nothing but drugs boofed up in you. You shit your drugs out. Probably let a couple people know you got some drugs. Next thing you know, you don't have no property, right? Next thing you know, you got a locker full of hygiene. You got a locker full of food. You might have clothes. Before they had the tablets, they had the cassette tapes. You probably could have had a whole cassette tape, whole Sony radio with some rap tapes and shit like that. Just so for you having drugs. Dudes probably would have been giving you free phone calls, and all you would have been doing was kept getting $100 Westies, $100 Westies, $100 Westies, and getting the bag over drugs. And you blood. So now you blood, and you get in the bag. You gotta want to help your little homies out, support your little homies out. You don't want to deny them niggas and shit like that. That's one thing. Another thing about being blood, it's like once you blood, it's like everybody blood, and it's like they all suwu, like they all suwooing and shit like that. I'm not gonna really say the calls and shit. They all calling they calls and shit though, and it's like. You just like everybody's fucking blood. You always gotta say what up to everybody and shit. Me personally, I'm not a people's person, so I don't want to be saying hi to everybody the same faces every single day in prison. 3-4 times a day, you might be seeing a dude. And everybody's blood. So you gotta shout out all your homies. You gotta shout out all your homies. Salute all of them niggas in the yard. All of them every time you see them in the mess hall. All of that shit. That's what the benefits of you wanting to join a gang. You gotta know everybody. You gotta know the whole language. You gotta know the lingo. You gotta know your set lingo. You gotta know all that shit. You gang banging, that's a whole new lifestyle, a whole new life you have to live. You living on a dangerous, evil side path, whichever way you want to pick or choose. Because the whole time you gang banging, it's just nothing about violence and drugs or some shit like that. Mainly violence. In prison is mainly violence. It's always some type of shit going on for no reason. Just because somebody might have said the wrong thing to somebody, now it's war. Now dudes want to cut each other just because off the strength he just told him to suck his dick or just some dumbass shit like that. Now he got a whole cut on his face. You got a whole cut on his face for what? What's the point of you having your whole cut on his face? Let me show y'all something. It be like little shit like this that be getting dudes caught up. This little shit right here. You feel me? You see this? It's a surgical blade. This surgical blade. You open this shit up. This shit I could just peel it down and it automatically slices open. This how motherfucking sharp this little ass blade right here is. This blade right here be ripping people's faces off in jail. You having the game bang, you're gonna need one of these little ass shits in prison. See? These little ass shits in prison. They make a little handle at the bottom of it, wrap it up with black tape, a little cardboard before the black tape, wrap the black tape around the cardboard and the scalpel, and make a handle with the shit. And this little shit right here will give you an extra 1.5 to 3.5 years added onto your sentence, maybe more. Just because you wanted to join the gang and you didn't have no support and you probably was scared. So you thought by joining blood that was gonna change everything. No, you got a whole new charge because this little ass shit right here, somebody gave you and they said shoot his face with that, meaning go cut his face with this little ass shit, and now you get caught with it by the COs and now your ass is grass. And now you going to upstate, and now you going back and forth to upstate between courts because you wanted to cut somebody. And now you in a box for months, sick, because you wanted to be blood. And this don't even have to be blood. This is any gangbang. This could happen to anybody that's gangbanging. It can happen to anybody that's in prison. But a lot of this shit be happening to all the dudes that like to join gangs, because that's all they about is violence. Like, they waking up talking, Flayo. Like, they waking up talking that shit. They going to sleep talking about Red Moon and shit like that. Red Moon scrap. Waking up. Rise and shine. Feel me? Like, it's like, that's the lifestyle 24/7 you thinking. You gotta know the languages. Like when I keep saying you gotta know the language, like, it's really a whole language that them niggas be talking. Like, every gang, they be talking, throw this shit out. Like, every gang that be talking and shit. And it's like, you gotta memorize that shit. It be other gangbangers might be talking language to you around other dudes that don't know your lingo, and you really gotta know what he talking about. Cause I remember that used to happen to me all the time. I'll be around the homies or some shit, and they can't say certain things around me, so they gotta say in the lingo. Sometimes he trying to say it to the other homie, that nigga don't know what he's saying. He's like, what? My nigga, you don't know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta know the languages. It's like prison is different. Gangbanging is different. Gangbanging in prison is different. Out here, you could gangbang and get away with a lot of shit. You don't gotta be on that gangbanging shit 24/7. You gotta have a whole life, a whole family out here, and be a Crip or be a Blood on the low. And not many people know who you are. Just probably your set and your clit and shit like that. And y'all probably all just getting money. Y'all not even really on no violent gangbanging shit anymore. Y'all Blood that's probably just been out here for a minute, and now y'all just really getting money. Y'all on that type of getting money time. And you can chill out here. But in prison, you be wanting to be, you tell a nigga you Blood, the whole jail is gonna know you, because most likely all of them is Blood. Everybody's Blood, and all the majority of the jails be just nothing but Bloods. Soon when one homie pull up, every homie tells that, what, yo, let's say hound, a new hound or a Mac pulled up. One Mac is gonna tell all the Macs. Or if an ape seen that a homie pulled up, he gonna tell the Mac. He gonna let all the Macs know. It be shit like that happening. When you being Blood, you pull up to a new facility, a new jail, you got 24 hours. Oh, nah. I forget. I don't know how much is the time. I think it's either 24 hours or 72 hours to report to the yard. Let niggas know what's good, who you is and shit like that. Some shit like that. But it's like, this is shit I'm talking about. You gotta follow orders, being gangbanging and shit. I would never be on that type of time. I don't care what it comes down to. Unless the world was coming to an end and we had to pick and choose what type of sides we had to be on and shit, that's a whole nother story. But me trying to be out here or being in prison, talking about, listen, having a nigga tell me, yo, look, you need to shoot this nigga before you go inside. But before we go inside, that's a dub. That's a dub. I'm saying that's a dub. I will never take orders from another nigga to tell me I gotta get a weapon and cut this dude's face off and try not to get cut with it. And if I do, I gotta hold it down. And now I got a whole brand new charge. It gets whacked. Facts. So if you want to gangbang, that's the shit you're gonna be going through. Just new charges. You want to get gangbang, just know that other dudes that gangbang too, that's not in your gang, could hit you and shoot you and cut you and do something to you or one of your homies, and then it's wartime after that. You gotta, if you blood, you gotta worry about joining the same. I mean, not joining. You gotta worry about going to war with other sets. That's blood. That's like that all the time. Bloods go to war with each other more than they go against go to war with other gangs. They go with each other with war all the time. It's never Bloods versus King. That shit happened every once in a while. It's always Bloods and Bloods going against each other all the time. Some type of set always beef with each other for no reason. They beef with each other more than they beef with other gangs. Besides the Crips, they see Crips as automatically. Crip is just automatically, when they see a Crip nigga, it's just automatically go time with the Crips. They see a Kane, they see Patial. I seen a few MS-13 niggas. I seen folks, you know, them type of people. I see all them type of people. Them niggas be surviving and shit. When a new Crip pull up, Sandcrawler, any one of them type of shits they call them, when them niggas pull up, them niggas' days is numbered in that facility, and that's a fact. They not surviving the population no longer than 3 or 4 days. And it be like that. Because they probably be knowing that the Crip knowing that he's in a blood jail. So they let the nigga rock out a few days and let him think everything is cool, but sneak him. And when they sneak niggas, they be sneaking niggas good. Like when you be on the staircase and you walking upstairs in prisons, and let's say it's like the whole block gotta go back to the cells, and let's say you walking with your whole tier and you walking up the staircases, them staircases be narrow as fuck. And it's gonna be the whole staircase flooded with dudes walking up and down that shit, whichever direction you going. And a lot of dudes get cut on the go back between dudes coming back from programs or dudes coming back from the yard, mainly the yard. A lot of dudes get cut coming back from the yard. Them staircases, police might not be there. Sometimes they might be on the staircase. Like on certain tiers and shit, levels, certain floors and shit. Every other floor might be a CO. But just because it was every other floor, it was a CO on the stairs. In front of the stairs. On every other floor. That other floor where it was no CO, blind spot. Automatically. Just because no CO was there. You got a beef with somebody? You blood? You don't even gotta be blood. You got beef with somebody, and you know that your op might be behind you. Be on point, and you on the staircase. You know he might be behind you on the staircase. Let that nigga get in front of you, and you be behind that nigga on the staircase. Now he's on point. You feel me? You gotta think, cause that's that type of shit. Dudes like to sneak niggas a lot on the staircases, no CO. Just cause that's for that split second a CO was not around, you could get got that easily. You could get got that easily. Easily. Some people don't give a fuck if a CO is around or not. I seen a lot of bloods, a lot of stupid ass young bloods not care at all if a correctional officer was around or not when they cut somebody's face around. For real. They could have been, a CO could be right there in the yard, and that dude would not care at all. It's not because he's probably shooting him because he's probably scared and he know the CO might break it up. I seen dudes pop in the yard, not caring, during the middle of the yard, not trying to get away with it, none of that shit. This is real beef. This is real life beef. Cut somebody in front of a yard full of whole, nothing but COs and inmates. Flooded. In the middle of the yard fighting, cutting somebody up. Not breaking it up. The COs is running. Took them out, break it up, break it up. They telling you to break it up. You don't break this shit up. They either gonna mace you with the pepper spray shit, or they gonna come into the fight and hit you with their bats. They gonna hit you with their little bat shits and pull you around and shit, and then try to choke slam you down and shit like that. That's them restraining you and shit. But it's dudes that really don't give a fuck that will cut you and then keep beating the shit out of you until the police literally pulls you off of him. There's dudes like that. And those dudes that I seen that was like that was young, up that just came up top, and they really was built like that because they probably had 20 years, and that shit automatically gave them a mindset that I could beat you up. Just by having that mindset, if I don't have no fear now because I'm automatically locked up, I'm not getting out of here, and it's lit. Because when you got that much time to do, you got 20 years to do. I know when I had 7 years, I had limits. I had 8 years, I did 7. I had limits on my shit. I thought about it. I'm like, I do this down at third, it might not be enough time for me to make it home early. If I try to do this down at third, I'm gonna be doing my whole 8 years plus 2 to 3 years just because I had another weapon on me. Some shit like that. This is me first coming up top thinking about all this shit, about gang banging, people having weapons on them, all that shit. I'm thinking about all that shit, and I'm like, damn, what's gonna happen if I just chilled out? I did that as much as possible, just chilled out. Had a few fights, had most of my fights in the county, had a few fights. I think like 2 or 3 fights when I was in prison. One fight was at the end. I think I had 2 like in the beginning of going up top. I remember the last fight I had, killed him right before I went home. But when it comes to that shit, you rather just get into fights. If you get into some shit, if you rather just get into a fight, like just use your hands. And if you know you about to fight somebody or get into some shit, don't be trying to cut nobody. If you know you're not gonna get away. Unless you one of them people that don't care at all. Like I said, it be people that don't care at all, and they will cut you and don't care. If they get a new charge, they probably already got life. So what's the point? Think about that. If you want to gang bang, if you somebody that got 20 years, and you want to gang bang, that's your path. You could also pick the path to choose to be a leader and help other dudes and tell them not to gang bang. Cause for some reason it's like dudes come up top and they see it just too much bloods, and they see it just a whole bunch of bloods, and not even that, just a lot of everybody's gang banging, and they see how segregated and divided prison is because everybody is either with their own area town, or they got their own clique, they with their own religion, or they with their own gang or some shit, and people see that coming up top confused, and they don't know nobody, and the first few people they might meet might be somebody that's blood, or it could be somebody that's other people that's gang banging, but mainly the bloods be really trying to recruit niggas all the time 24/7. So you might be chopping it up with one of the bloods, and now you chopping it up with the bloods, now they trying to you in to turn blood, you feel me? And they really be getting niggas to do that shit. I chopped it up with bloods my whole bid. You know how many times they try to turn me blood and I dubbed it and it was A-okay? Dudes be getting scared for no reason, like they ain't got no other choice. Fuck it. You don't gotta turn blood, because once you try to do that, you gonna be going through a whole bunch of problems, and like that's like not cool. For everybody coming to my YouTube, man, I thank y'all, man. Hopefully I can make a lot more videos, man. Remember what I said. If you're new to my channel, please like and subscribe. Don't gangbang if you're not built like that. Don't go to prison if you know you don't want to be in prison. Don't commit crimes if you know you're not built to go to jail/prison. None of that shit. Stay out of trouble. The world is crumbling and we all dying. We live to die. That's the only message I have. We live to die. Just also remember, even on your worst days, it's still 24 hours in a day. Think about that. Thank you for coming to my channel.